Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Off the Top Sports Radio is live on the Sand Sports Multimedia Network. We got a great show for y'all today, man. Stay locked in, man. Tuned in, man. You got the fellas in here. B in the building. B, what's good, B?
Hey, what's good, bro?
Yeah, we got like I just mentioned, we got guests in the building. Got my man James. What's good, Jay? Representing Philly. I got Nate. You see, he got the mask on. Nate, the mask. Dallas fan. What's good, Nate?
You already know the Mass Reporter. We in the building, baby.
Yes. Oh man, we got a great show for y'all. Breaking down the NFC East, the AFC East. We're gonna talk some trade requests from these players. That want trade requests before the season starts. So we're gonna definitely get into that. Before we get into all that.
Oh, that's me. Okay, I'm like, where's this feedback coming?
Yes, man. Once again, man, welcome to All the Top Sports Radio. Man, on the Sand Sports Network today. We usually on A Squad Brother Radio, but like I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, B. Did we? We haven't, right?
Nah,
but
yes, well, as far as the network we have.
Yeah.
But as far as today's show, we didn't know. It was like last minute.
Yeah. We got the news. Yeah, we got the news last night that we was not gonna be able to do the show at the station because I don't know if we announced it, but we are moving to a whole different building down in North New Jersey and moving to a bigger and nice space. I don't know if B, you saw the video last night. Shout out to my big bro Zay. We're doing big things, man. And look, I think not next week because we might be on here again next week. We might.
Yeah, but I know for sure after Labor Day, when the season is official, we'll be back in the building.
Yes. So definitely, man. So shout out to Zay and the whole A Squad Radio family doing their thing, man, and just getting bigger and better, man. But like we mentioned, man, today we have a big show for y'all, man. And we got guests in the building. I introduced them already. I got my guy, James, who's repping Philly, the Philadelphia Eagles today. And I got the Nate, the Mass Reporter, in the building.
Yes, sir. Y'all, you already know what I'm repping. Cowboy Nation. You already know.
Yeah. So, before we start, let me get a little bit of a rundown real quick. Where we at? All right. Yeah, see that? Everybody see that? Here goes the rundown. Everybody see that? I'm sharing my screen real quick.
I don't see it. I still see our logo.
Our logo. Okay.
Yeah, there may be some.
Yeah, I see the white logo.
Okay. So the sharing screen not working, but it was the rundown though. Showing the rundown to today's show. We're gonna talk about the Colts and the
You been out
Brain.
there because it's not.
Huh?
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, we still gonna talk about the Colts. You know, giving the okay to Taylor the secret trade. Stephon Diggs, we got some Stephon Diggs news. Stephen A. Smith making that news. Well, let's get into it real quick. Stephen A. Smith claims that Stephon Diggs wants out. Said he had his sources and Diggs lost belief in the Bills. What's your thoughts about on that? B, starting with you, B.
I didn't know you was gonna mention this because Stephon Diggs already came out and called Stephen A. out on this talk and told him he don't know who his sources is, but it's a lie. And this ain't the first time that somebody called Stephen A. out, you know, on his, you know, positions and his sources and his, you know, bomb drops. But you know, if he's doing this for clicks and, you know, ratings, this is really, really corny because, and this is why I got, you know, a lot of athletes are starting to go away from mainstream media and go more towards new media because these guys, they be putting out false stories, man, for attention. So Stephon Diggs, I mean, and I saw it on his own Twitter account, says that he's fully dedicated to playing for the Bills, you know, this year. And you know, he locked in with his guys. He's not looking to leave. So, you know, until I hear from him, you know, I gotta believe, and he responded immediately. So I gotta believe him on that one.
Yeah. You know, going into the season, we did hear rumors, and you know how the season ended last year for the Buffalo Bills and the embarrassing loss at home to the Cincinnati Bengals, and you know how he stormed out the locker room, then talked to the media. There was probably some bad blood between, you know, Diggs and the franchise.
I mean, he don't want, not to cut you off, but he don't want to lose. Like, you know, players ain't the happiest, and that's the problem with the media. They, you know, oh, he didn't speak to us. There must be some type of beef between the two players, and I'm sure that he and Josh Allen, you know, they didn't see eye to eye on that particular day. But you know, that's sports, and it happens. You know, when you you know, are competing at a high level and you continuously fall short, there's a frustration that grows if you're a real competitor, which we know Stephon Diggs is an ultimate competitor. And when you feel like you have all of the pieces there, but something just is you know, it's not going your way, you know, you get frustrated with that, and you don't want to talk to media all the time. So, you know, of course, you know, they need it for their ammunition. They're gonna make stories. But I think it's just typical you know, behavior of a competitor.
All right. Any thoughts about it? James, any thoughts about it?
Yeah, nah, I don't make too much of it. To me, it's just the end of August news cycle. Like, and I believe two things to be true. Like a source could have told Stephen A. that, but and I believe Diggs cannot went out. Like, so I ain't really bought too much in it. It's just August news for me. Like, I ain't really take too much from it. Just regular news cycle before football season. Looking, like B said, looking for stories and looking for clicks. So.
Nate.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping it was true. I want him in Dallas. Come on.
Come on, man. Damn, Nate, don't be that guy. Like, damn, Nate won everybody.
Wait, hold on.
Listen, Nate won everybody. First of all, there's no way contractually that Dallas would be able to get Stephon Diggs there anyway.
Yeah, I know. Not right now. Not right
ever, because you about to pay. You got to pay CD Lamb. You got to pay Micah Parsons. Like, it's just too many people that you already drafted that you have to pay. So, you know, as far as getting the receiver like Diggs, I mean, why would you even? You have your number one. He's a number one. It don't even make sense to bring him there. So, you know, I get it. I want him to stay as far away from the NFC East as possible. If it's, you know what I mean? Because we know it won't be on Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if he's staying in the AFC, man, stay there. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we got some rivals that like to scoop guys up, man. So we got to be careful with what we ask for.
Yeah. Alphabets, what's going on? He said, don't forget also he was chatting with his brother and told him to come get him.
Listen, that's the thing, bro. They drink. Okay, I get it. They it's something that they want to do. They want to play with each other, but that's not something that's be within their control, man. Like, I just listen, man. All right.
Not the NBA.
Nah, he do agree with you though, B.
It sound good though. B, it sound good. I mean,
Yeah,
big brother, little brother,
he
they
said-
both grew up Cowboy fans.
Of course, and that's going to be and prayerfully they both stay healthy because that Week 15 matchup is going to be one for the ages, man. The Diggs brothers going at it, bro.
Yeah,
Because those two guys compete. I don't know if you saw the videos and stuff like that of them working out together, but the way they compete against each other is just straight great for TV because they compete against each other as if they're not even brothers. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw them in the Pro Bowl. They was wilding in the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah. Facts. Yeah. So it's he stays in Buffalo definitely this year. He's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. All right, talking about JT. I see Betts mentioned JT. JT Jonathan Taylor requested a trade. What do you think that is a fair trade? Is for Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, shit. But whatever you need, I don't know. I thought about Miami at first. I really did. I was like, oh, Miami, okay. But I don't know what they would actually give up to get him. I wouldn't give up any first. Considering just how the market is right now, giving up first round picks for not for quarter, but for running backs isn't really essential. What was the deal? What did San Fran give up to the Panthers to get CMC? Did they give up a first round pick? I can't remember.
A 2? No, I think it was a 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. So
pennies.
Some it'll be something like that. You won't have to give up much because, like I said, they done dried up the running back market so crazy that you ain't gonna have to give up much.
They gave up a 2 and a 3. Marcus.
Okay.
Betts, so.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where we at with it.
Yeah. So you feel like Miami probably the best fit?
I mean, yeah, they talking Miami. When I think about all the 32 teams, I mean, I don't know any. Maybe Arizona. Considering the fact that they allow him to request this trade, but there's a bad blood relationship. I don't see them trading him to somewhere he wants to go.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to try to trade him to a team that they believe that's not going to be that good this year or that successful. I'm definitely sure they're going to try to keep him away from them as far as the division or the conference. So I definitely can see them, trading him away to like maybe an NFC foe. But if he ends up, somewhere in the AFC, Miami is a team that I think of. I can't really think of anybody else at this present moment because, like I said, teams are using multiple backs though. So I just don't know where he's an RB1 type of player. He's not, he's the guy that should get the bulk of the carries if he goes to a team. So I'm really not sure.
Right.
He's different. He's Marcus Betts said he's different. He's he's 25, a workhorse back. He's not a Zeke and a Cook who are both 28. Dude is absolutely in his prime.
Yeah, he is in his prime. And he also coming off an injury. So yeah, you're right. He is right. So that plays a part as well. He is a workhorse bell cow type of back, but he ain't indestructible because he's already sustained, an injury. He didn't play most of last year, and then they're talking about, and that could be fool's gold this year with the back situation. Maybe that's just something that he's using to his leverage to not, participate or receive like any type of fines or anything with the Colts organization. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, man. If it plays out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
honestly, I think stay in Indianapolis.
Shit, send him to Buffalo. Buffalo can use him too.
I hear Buffalo.
Yeah, because if you mix him with James Cook, I don't see James Cook as a bell cow. James, you feel me? So if James Cook, I don't want James Cook. And that's Dalvin's brother for everybody who may not know. But I don't want James Cook carrying the ball 25 times again. Like, you know what I mean? So he's more of a, let him get 15 to 18.
Cook and
let Jonathan.
They could be good enough.
Yeah, listen, you get a guy like JT that opens up your offense a lot. So, just be on the lookout for that. I just thought about it. It just clicked in my head. Maybe Buffalo is a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the running back market isn't what it is. Like you saying they have Damian Harris, like Damian Harris can't be part of the trade. They can trade him away. Like what? Would I take JT or would I be satisfied with Damian Harris? Like buy Damian Harris and I give up a 2-3 Damian Harris buy, and I got JT. So that don't mean nothing. They can create.
Honestly, to me, it sounds like a Kyrie situation. You know what I'm saying? They might try to trade him to the worst team that they could, like you said, be the worst team that they could find. Well, I mean, because he want to be traded. But on the flip side, I can see him going to the Bengals, to Cincinnati, because ain't Joe Mixon in some trouble or something? Like, ain't he about to get locked up or something?
Joe Mixon, I ain't hear about that. I think he beat that.
I thought he cleared it.
Yeah. Oh, he cleared it?
Yeah. And he reconstructed his contract for them too. So another team I hear people, naming is the Buccaneers.
Oh, they do need it back. That's what they need it back. I know they got the rookie, but JT and him, that could make some noise. They need all the help they can get because you got Baker Mayfield won the job today. So good luck.
Yeah, they just announced it a couple of hours ago. Baker Mayfield will be the starting quarterback for the Bucks. What's your thoughts on that? Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Yeah,
Baker is horrible.
He's bazooka.
That's awful.
I mean, he got weapons over there, so he might have some help.
Job,
but
oh man, so we'll see. Other NFL news, you had I was so highly to see this kid play. B got the Buckeye hat on. Jackson Smith-Njigba. We got bad news today that he's having wrist surgery, broken bone on his wrist. And he just made a great play this past weekend to show you what he's gonna do in that offense in Seattle this past weekend. What's your thoughts on that? B, starting with you. I know you're the Buckeye guy.
I mean, it was unfortunate. He got hurt trying to make a play, so things happen. But at the same time, I think they say 3 to 6 weeks, depending on how he heals. So you can see him back by the third game. He won't miss significant time this year. But once they get him back, I think he'll fit right in and make that offense more explosive than it already is.
So yeah.
Other news. If he back that first week, I agree.
It's like 3 weeks until the regular season starts, so I don't see him being back week 1, but it's definitely week 2, 3. I can see that. Yeah, week 2, 3, I can see that. Yeah. But as long as he's not missing 10, 11, 12 games, it's not that tough of a blow, but I get it.
Yeah. In other news, hey James, man, what's up with these? Well, we've been having brawls all camp. But they just announced that the Eagles and Colts joint practice, they had to cut it short because
they fought at practice. Yeah. Another team fought. I thought they don't fight at practice in the NFL. That's what I've been hearing. Come on, man. It's natural, man. It's what happens.
It's just football.
It's football, man.
I heard you start the starting center. Kelsey started the whole thing.
Football, bro.
Yeah, so they had.
They said somebody got blindsided, bro.
Oh man. So let me see who he just added over here. Yeah, so yeah, man. So that was one of the news that came out today.
No news.
What else? I had talking about last night, right? The preseason game from last night. Let's get into that real quick. Baltimore going into a 24 game wasn't. Well, I'm going into it because we always talk about preseason is not a big thing, right? B.
Yeah, exactly.
And the news that come out with McLaurin, they just announced his MRI. He had an MRI and showed no major damage. Thank God. But
they dodged the bullet. But that was stupid.
Going to the second.
It's nothing that you need to see from Terry McLaurin, man. Yeah. You got to learn to protect your players. The players don't really like preseason games anyway. For some odd, strange reason, people are believing that, you need preseason reps to have a successful season. And I'm like, what? Like the way that the NFL is constructed right now, a lot of the work that they get is in the joint practices or the practices themselves. So it's like, you don't really need preseason games. You let a lot of teams have been following this blueprint of letting their backups play. There are a few teams, the Chiefs, Andy Reid rolling the dice, which I wouldn't, because what do I need to see from Patrick Mahomes? But and a couple other teams as well, just been letting guys get in there. But I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. In this particular situation, like I said, Washington dodged a bullet from having one of their main guys have a major injury. So like I said, I don't need preseason. I just witnessed a young rookie from my own team that was going to have a big role end up being gone for the year, and I understand the younger guys got to play. But now he's going to be going for the year with a torn ACL. I'm talking about Demario Overshown.
And that hurt my heart, B, man.
Yeah, because I was excited to see what he was going to be able to do this year in year one. Dan Quinn was excited about him too. But like I said, letting guys, and especially in games like this is kind of like the Jets-Giants game. But in the Maryland area where you have, the two Beltway, it's called the Beltway rivalry. The two teams from the DMV area playing against each other, it's going to be a little more. It means it's one of those preseason games, I guess you could say, for bragging rights. It means a little more. They're interconference, so they don't play each other on a regular basis. So, it's just one of those things. But, Baltimore lost their first preseason game in almost 8 years. I looked at the date. It was wild because the last time they lost was September 3rd, 2015, which was the day I got married, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
So, but at the same, like I said, that's a long time to have a streak like that, but it's a streak that means absolutely nothing. Exactly. I mean, it does speak to the depth though, when you think about the depth that, a team might have, but I'm like, there's like at least, 25 guys per team that didn't make the team, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's whatever, but it's something to it's news, August news, like James said, like, you know what I
mean? Yeah, like you mentioned, the streak was snapped. I think the last time they did lose a game, Lamar Jackson was a freshman in Louisville, like so I know BJ telling me to delete this shit. No, I'm not deleting it because you prematurely made a post talking about a 25 game win streak, and that's what you get, man. You jinxed your team. You definitely jinxed your team last night by doing that, sir. So yeah. Oh man, what else we gonna talk about? All right, we got a couple of Sand Sports debate topics that we usually do every day in the morning time. So here's a couple, just have one or two that we post. This one's from last week, right here. Top 5 threats to the Chiefs in the AFC are.
Okay, so they gave you 3, right? But
I know who number 1 is.
You got a healthy Raven. I mean, a healthy Bengals, of course. And then I want to say the Jets, but I'm starting to have a little reservation about them because even though they have a lot of talent at the skill position, their offensive line is some shit.
Yeah, they don't have no
if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm very concerned about the offensive line going into this season. I know they're trying to, brush it off and not make too much of it. Another episode of Hard Knocks does come on tonight, by the way. But at the same time, and I just don't know. But the Bengals, and it's in the AFC, so I would go Bengals and probably a sleeper. And I don't necessarily have them as the top two, but they're in there because I actually have Buffalo as maybe the second team. But I would probably go a sleeper, Cleveland, man.
I like that.
People not really recognizing, and I'm, like I said, talent wise, they are a team to be reckoned with this upcoming year. You have a Deshaun Watson who is going to have a full off season. He has weapons. They have a good old line. They have a good run game, and they have a solid defense. Man, they've been playing really, really well. I mean, I know it's preseason, but they've been playing really, really well. If they can carry that momentum on into the regular season, they definitely could be one of those teams that you got to watch out for. Within their own division as well. I know, everybody has the Bengals and the Ravens that like 1 and 2, but don't be surprised if that Cleveland team, or I even like what I saw from Pittsburgh too. I don't know if they'll carry that on to be an actual threat to KC, but I don't think that they're going to roll over and die in that division. They're going to be a tough out for whoever they play against. Shout out Mike Tomlin. He just knows how to coach them up.
Shout out Mike Tomlin.
I seen a lot of people. What you saying, Nate?
I was about to say the Jaguars, right? Don't sleep on them Jaguars, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people mentioned them when I post this.
Yo,
we can't sit here and say the Jaguars didn't give them a game in that divisional round last year.
Right.
Even though Mahomes they get injured early. But the Jaguars are a team that's definitely coming. Another team that they mentioned was Miami too. A lot of people had Miami in their top 5.
Another honorable mention: be careful about the Jaguars.
Hey, okay, yeah, we just mentioned them. them.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear that. But okay, the Jaguars too. They could be one of those teams. That's about all I see. I don't see too many other teams other than that. But it's a stack division. It's a stack conference. I'll tell you that.
Definitely is. You got feedback somewhere.
Who giving us the feedback? That's
James.
Yeah, see, you got that Philly service.
Oh man,
got to get you some Verizon, man.
All right, this is the one that we posted up today. Who's the worst wide receiver up here? Which none of them are not.
None of them are worse. But when you talk about, and you gotta just hear me out. Now you have to start actually going into skill set and hands and stuff like that, like stuff about the individual. And if that is the case, I'm gonna have to unfortunately take out Mike Evans.
I'm saying the same shit, big.
Because there's, Devontae. We know what Devontae is. He has the tree. To me, I know a lot of people got Jay Jettis, but to me, he's still the best receiver in the game right now. I have him number 1. We know what D-Hop is, probably the most short-handed receiver on this particular list. T.O., and he has the jersey on where he played with a broken leg and had 9 catches for 122 yards. A receiver that could play anywhere, slot, outside, came across the middle. Definitely had the tree. Was one of the bigger receivers that can run routes. So, Mike Evans, we know him to be a one route pony. And though he can't, nobody's really been able to stop it, being that he's had 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. As far as his individual skill set, he's not really on the level of these other 3 guys. So I would have to go Mike Evans here.
All right. A lot of people did pick Mike Evans. even though Mike Evans consistently put up numbers.
Yeah.
But 7 straight, right? 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
9.
On me for the 9.
Yeah, 9.
He been through some quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
In those 9 years, so he has consistently put up numbers, man.
Mm-hmm.
But like B just mentioned, if you're going by skill set, you definitely got to get take Mike Evans as one of the worst wide receivers up here. If you need a touchdown in the fourth quarter, game on the line, who are you picking out of these receivers?
Well, I've seen T.O. do it a few times, and I've seen Devontae do it. I've seen D-Hop do it. But if I'm I've seen all these guys do it. But if I'm going, I'm probably going to go D-Hop.
You're going D-Hop?
Yeah.
I like that, but I'm gonna go T.O. Get your popcorn ready. Popcorn ready. You know T.O. gonna get that ball. He on the field. He gonna get that thing. He gonna go get that thing. I'm gonna go T.O. on that one.
No, he is the best up here. I don't know who you're talking about, BJ. Who's the best up here? But nah, yeah, I probably go T.O. I definitely go T.O. If anything. Okay. Oh man, okay, that's the last one we had. We only had a couple. Okay. So now we're gonna start breaking down these divisions, man. We're gonna start with the AFC East. All right. We ain't gonna start with the NL. We're gonna say the best division for last. So we're gonna start with the AFC East. And we're gonna start with the how the standings ended from the bottom to the top. So we're gonna start with the Patriots was the last. Yeah, Patriots was the fourth, ending fourth in the division. So when y'all look at the Patriots, let me see, what was their record last year? It was not one of their best seasons at all last year. They picked up Zeke last week.
Yeah, they're gonna be better just because of that.
You think so?
As long as he stay healthy, nah, for real. Like, man, people, I ain't gonna say nothing. Man. I mean, I'm just answering.
I got touchdowns last year. He had 12 TDs last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so the Patriots ended. Okay, so I should have started with the Jets. But the Patriots ended 8-9 last year with an 8-9 record. Probably not the best season Belichick had to his tenure in Patriot in New England. They did, like I said, mentioned, pick up Zeke, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, and free agency. In the draft, they drafted Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon as a first round draft pick. What do we expect for the Patriots this year?
In their division, they probably gonna be last. That's how I see it. I don't think I don't think they're gonna be better than Buffalo. I don't see them being better than Miami. And surprisingly, bro, I don't think they're gonna be better than the Jets neither. So I see the Patriots. I got the Patriots last in that division.
Okay.
Bill Belichick is still over there coaching that team up, man.
Not only that, they got a good defense, man.
Yes.
And I think that with the addition of Zeke, because you have that 2-back system, that will allow them to play, without Mac Jones having to save the day, if that makes any sense. So, the weapons that he do have there, he got Mike Gesicki, tight end. He still got Hunter Henry over there. They do have some, decent receivers. Keyshawn Butte is, making a splash in the preseason, one of the young receivers that out of LSU that they drafted in the 6th round. So they're hoping that he maturates into something. They have a good offensive line too. So, even though I don't think that the offense will be explosive, I think it will be effective. And I think that they can play complementary to that defense. and they can probably make some noise. Listen, I'm not all in on Tua. I'm sorry. I know
you don't believe in him.
It's not about believing in him, but I mean, I've seen him have concussion after concussion after concussion. I mean, it's a hit away. So, though I hope he can stay healthy, I just don't know if he can stay healthy. And, if they got to go to a backup for any reason, good luck. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at Miami for the weapons. I get it, but they O-line a little sus too. I've been watching them a little bit too, but like I said, if they are able to get things rolling, we shall see.
Yeah. One thing about New England though, they always stay with 2 tight ends, man, in that offense. Hunter Henry's still there, and they just picked up Mike Gesicki from Miami, so they stayed with 2 tight ends. So that's also another weapon to the offense. So Amandre Stevenson in the backfield with Zeke. He was sharing the backfield last year with Damian Harris, but he's the guy now back there. So we'll see. And like B just mentioned too, the defense too. One thing about Bill Belichick team, man, they're gonna play some defense led by Matthew Judon, who been having his best years these past couple of years I'm playing with the Patriots. So can't count them out, man. Definitely can't count them out. So we'll see. With the Patriots. All right, moving along. Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins. No, yeah, let's talk about. Y'all started talking about Tua. Let's stay on Miami. Y'all thoughts on Miami? Man?
I mean, everything is Tua based. And if Tua can somehow stay healthy, this team can be dangerous for sure. It's not. I know. My man Nate basically was like, "Yo, you don't believe in them," and it's not about belief right now. As more as it about health concern. Them concussions ain't nothing to play with, and if he doesn't, know how to even protect himself, because the offensive line, they do have their holes as well, but he can't take those direct hits and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. They have a good defense. They have the weapons on the outside. They do definitely have, a solid run game as far as the skill position players. It's a system that, it's West Coast-ish, but they definitely do take shots with Tyreek Hill at the receiver position. So, we'll see. It's a lot of hype with Miami. And we'll see if they can answer the bell.
But didn't they get another receiver too? Didn't they pick up another receiver? Besides, they got somebody else besides Waddle and
right. I forgot about Waddle. I didn't forget about
Robbie
Waddle.
Anderson.
I just forgot the name.
Robbie Anderson, yeah.
Chosen, the chosen one.
Right.
The chosen one. So
it's Chosen Anderson now.
They did pick him up to add more
speed.
Like they needed any more speed.
Right.
They re-signed both of the running backs, Moshe and Jeff Wilson Jr. to contracts this past off season. And remember, and on the defense side of things, they traded for Jalen Ramsey, who
that's going to hurt.
Yeah,
that's going to hurt.
And what they looking like? It's like December they talking about, right? He's coming back, right?
Yeah, they're talking December, but players know their bodies better, so we'll see.
Yeah. So, Miami definitely could be a threat in that AFC East. We seen in a couple of games last year. They gave Buffalo a run for their money. They beat Buffalo and Miami. Then when they came into Buffalo in January, almost pulled that game out last year. So, watch out for Miami. Definitely watch out for Miami as one of the teams in that AFC East. All right. The team that everybody blowing up right now, the New York Jets. They made a lot of splash moves. this past off season. You know, the number one picking up Aaron Rodgers. Picking up Aaron Rodgers. That's probably the biggest move they made. When
since
Curtis Martin,
Favre,
yeah, picking up Favre, yeah. But you know, making that moves. You know, picking up Dalvin Cook a couple of last week.
Mm-hmm. That was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Listen, they picking up all the skilled players they want. If you cannot block, you will not be successful. Mm-hmm. You have everything starts with the trenches, man. You got to be able to protect your investment. I think Aaron knows that there's a problem there too, because he's advocating and silently tagging David Bakhtiari, who was his left tackle in Green Bay, and you know, a few posts that we've seen. So you know, it's just one of them situations where it's like, hey, listen, you're gonna have to block. Mekhi Becton hasn't played football in God knows how long, and you know, he hasn't played much as far as the reps, but I don't know if he can save an entire unit. And you know, I think he has some rust himself. So,
what's going on, fellas? I got it. Look, guys.
I didn't. You introduce you first.
Go ahead. I heard some of these.
First of all, I feel like I'm getting jumped right now because I got a lot of Dallas fans. Another Dallas fan that just entered the chat. Marcus Betts, Alpha Betts, man. You can check him out on the Alpha Betts show. Every Friday, right?
Every Friday, 10 Eastern time. 10 Eastern time. June will be there in a couple of weeks, and I'll do my NFC show. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. You came in here a little aggressive.
Well, because I was listening to some of the stuff that y'all were saying. I'm like, come on, God. Okay, first off, with the whole blocking thing, what was the Jets' record last year?
8. I'm looking at.
They were 7 and was they 8-9 or 7-10?
They were 7. They were 7-10.
Okay.
They were 7-10.
Okay.
They were 7-10. Aaron Rodgers ain't worth 3 or 4 more wins. Now they beat the Bills. They beat the Bills with Mike White and Zach Wilson. Y'all remember that game when Zach Wilson beat the Buffalo Bills? Remember that? Y'all remember when Tua beat the Bills after having a concussion? He did have a concussion. They could say whether it was his leg or his back or whatever. Tua, they say he got a concussion. The very next play, he throws a 70-yard bomb. And you don't think Aaron Rodgers worth 3 more wins? Dalvin Cook ain't worth 3 or 4 more wins?
That ain't what I said. That ain't what we saying. But if, like I said, right now they have offensive line problems. And
okay, you know who else has offensive line problems? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow been sacked the second most in history behind David Carr, not Derek Carr. Y'all remember David Carr with the Houston Texans?
Yeah. Okay.
He took like 80 sacks in the season. Well, Joe Burrow took 77. And he tore his ACL his rookie year and came back and took him to the Super Bowl. All the Jets have ever needed was competent quarterback play. That's all that they were missing on that team. That's it. A quarterback. Aaron Rodgers don't got to be MVP. Aaron Rodgers. He has to be better than Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco. That's all he's got to do. And they're 10-7, 11-6. They got an all-world defense. And now you got Dalvin Cook, who allows Breece Hall to come back. They don't have to rush him back. So you're going to have a 1-2 punch, and you got Aaron Rodgers, who's on a mission, and they still got $35 million in cap space.
Well, they better use it on the offensive line because I'm telling you right now, like these even within their division, you got the I understand the Bills, but even with the Patriots, they have one of the best pass rushers in the league. And then you're playing the NFC East division, who has all the teams in that division got good pass rush from Washington, Dallas, Philly, and the Giants. So definitely it's all about scheduling and who you playing too. And if you, like I said, if you can't protect Aaron Rodgers is going to be a problem. I get it. I understand he's back there. And yes, his talent does give you about 2, 3, 4 more wins. But if he back there, we seen him with bad lines in Green Bay. He ain't look like the same Aaron. So
okay, when you got Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, that allows him where he doesn't he's not gonna have to carry the team. He had to carry Green Bay. He had to carry him. He doesn't have to carry him. Y'all remember the way Tom Brady looked his last year in New England? How do you look?
Bad.
Okay, and then he goes to Tampa, and what do? They give him Leonard Fournette. They give him Antonio Brown. Gronk comes out of retirement,
right,
and they win a Super Bowl. It's the same difference, guys. It's the same difference. As quarterbacks get older, he can't carry the team. Everybody remember Kobe Bryant? His last couple of years, I know jumping over the back. How did Kobe look the last couple of years of the league?
Now we get it. He was playing through a lot, injuries and everything else.
No, he was old. He couldn't carry the team like he used to. He couldn't carry. Yeah, sometimes I think what he had like 80 points his last game. He ain't gonna go score 80 points every damn night, but he'll flash every now and then where you're like, okay, that's still Kobe Bryant. He's 40-year-old Kobe Bryant, but he's still Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. So Aaron Rodgers, he's on a mission. They done put him on a team. He's basically got it's basically a 2-year contract. They got a whole bunch of salary cap space. And look, week 1, we're going to find out real quick. Buffalo in New York City, week 1, Sunday Night Football. We're going to find out real fast.
Monday night.
And and one last thing on this Stephon Diggs thing. I wanted to jump back to the Stephon Diggs. Where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Stephon Diggs is not just going to come out and be like, oh, I want out of Buffalo. Because if he did that, they would tar and feather his ass. That's what they would do. He can't do that. Bills Mafia would skin him alive if he said that. He keeps showing over and over and over. It reminds me of Jalen Ramsey with the Jackson. Y'all remember when Jalen Ramsey was trying to get the hell out? He didn't just say I want out of He didn't say I want out of Jacksonville. He kept, my fish is sick. The dog ate my homework. The electricity knocked out all my power. Every day, my girlfriend's pregnant. She's 1 month pregnant. I got to go with her to her appointment. It's like, dude, every excuse he used it to get out of stuff. Stephon Diggs is not going to come out and say the reason Stephon Diggs is mad because somebody in his family was chirping. You don't just make stuff up like that. He said inside source. Now, Stephen A. Smith, he's kind of a punk for doing that. But where there's smoke, there's fire. It's all up on the heat. If there was a way that he could get out of there, he would get. He's not going to win a championship in Buffalo. Okay, there's been bridges that have been burned. He goes out. The Bills tell him to take a pay cut. To go get a guy like this, DeAndre Hopkins. And then they go and extend Ed Oliver. That'll piss me off too. Stephon Diggs is the same guy that went off on Kirk Cousins, and he just cussed out Josh Allen. Who just leaves their teammates? When you take everybody here who played football, raise your hand. You play football? When you lose. When you win together, and when you lose together. He's just being competitive. That's the same stuff that they said with LeBron James. Remember when LeBron James just walked off the court and they said he's, a bad loser? Mm-hmm. When your teammates lose, you lose too. You don't just get in your car and leave the damn stadium. Come on, man. Come on now. And guess what? Everything. Part of him going on. Okay, yeah. Everything's all good. Okay, let him go on a 3-game losing streak. Let him go on a three-game losing streak and see how he act.
It's gonna be all hell, man.
Let him do it.
All hell in Buffalo. Do you feel like
let him keep going? That's how it would be for any team. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to go on a 3-game losing streak, not especially if you're a team that feel like you can do.
Yeah,
something.
but when you but just leave it. We saw the same thing with Antonio Brown.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't know he
like
just
what did my
I didn't know.
What did Maya Angelou just say? What did Maya Angelou say? When people show you who they are, believe them.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing you who he is. Antonio Brown, his last act, he just acted the damn fool, took his damn shirt off and walked off the field. Let the Bills go on a 3-game losing streak, and you'll see how, Bills Mafia for life. I ain't leaving nowhere. Okay, let them go on a 3-game. Let them get blown out by the Jets in week 1. Let them get blown out by Miami or New England and see how he acts. We'll come back. We'll revisit this. We'll revisit it.
Do you feel like Buffalo have what it takes to repeat? Because they've been running.
They've been dominating this division the past
3 years. Yeah.
No, because their division sucks. Their division sucks.
This is one of the tougher
their
divisions.
Division sucks. What happens? You just got smoked. You just got. Look, Josh Allen been beaten up on Zach Wilson, Mike White, Tua coming off of an injury from college, and Mac Jones. That's who he's been beaten up on. The Patriots you lost to the Patriots with Mac Jones throwing the ball 3 times. But when he's got to face those real teams in the AFC, when he's got to face the I'm just saying you're not gonna get the play in the AFC East all of this time. What happens when he lost to Pittsburgh? I'm just saying, but you're just saying, the question was, does he have what it takes? No. They're a cold weather city team with a dome roster. That's what they are. And when they got to go out in the elements, like when they had to go out in the elements against Cincinnati, they got their teeth kicked in.
That's
what it is. In your house. And guess what? All of the AFC teams have gotten better. And don't let the Dolphins get Jonathan Taylor. Don't let the Dolphins get Jonathan Taylor. Because if they get Jonathan Taylor, you might finish 3rd in the division. I know people don't want to hear that. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of hate mail. Oh, Marcus, you're just a Bills hater. That's what I'm going to hear. But if the Dolphins get Jonathan Taylor, the Buffalo Bills might not make the playoffs this year. There's going to be a 10-7 team that does not make the playoffs this year. The AFC is a murderer's row. It's a murderer's row, man. Jacksonville's better. The Jets are better. The Chargers are coming. Russell Wilson with Sean Payton, they're coming. You got teams in the AFC that are stacked that are coming. And Buffalo, what has Buffalo done to get better? I'm asking y'all. Y'all had a question for me. What has Buffalo done to get better? What they did to get better?
Nothing yet. You know what I mean? Other than have a draft, nothing really. They didn't spend any money in the free agency period. So, they pretty much stayed pat on what they have. So
they added Leonard Floyd to the defense, which is not.
It's a move, but it don't move the needle too much. I mean,
compared to the other teams in the AFC
that loaded up, I get what you're saying.
The Steelers got better. The Ravens got better. The Browns year 2. The Browns year 2 of Deshaun Watson. He ain't got to worry about his 27 cases. Lamar Jackson, they done got him Odell Beckham Jr. and J.K. Dobbins is healthy and Rashad. You did nothing significantly to get better except extend Ed Oliver. You extended Ed Oliver. Whoop de freaking do. And then you got to also deal with the distractions. Putting Josh Allen. I seen Buffalo fans celebrating Josh Allen getting put on the Madden cover like they won the Super Bowl, man.
Oh, that's why they
celebrate like, oh man, Josh Allen getting on the Madden cover. That ain't no thing.
So somebody else is coming out. But did I pick Buffalo? I didn't pick Buffalo to win this division.
I don't know. We ain't picked nobody yet to win the division. Who we picking to win the division? Who we picking to win the division? Who you picking, B?
I think I was going Jets because in my regular rankings, remember I had the Jets in the top 10, surprisingly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that was before the offensive line stuff. It alarmed me a little bit. But I'm gonna see. Hey Betts, I'm gonna give you. We're gonna revisit this thing a quarter into the season, and we're gonna see how these offensive lines is looking, man. Because
I will. You after this show's over, give me your Facebook or whatever. We'll be in, and I'll have you on the show, and I'll come back on here. But I'm telling you, don't because I just think look, Buffalo. The thing with Buffalo has a good team, but here's the thing about it. Where they play at, you gotta be able to run the ball. They can't stop the run, and they can't run the ball. And you play in the snow.
Right? But
how do you do it?
So, not to cut you off. So that's what we were saying. What do you think about if Buffalo ends up getting Jonathan Taylor? Now you're cooking with grease a little bit.
Yeah, but you gotta pay. Here's the thing with it though. That you gotta to get him. You gotta give up a premium draft pick, plus you gotta pay him. He's not like Zeke, who's 28. He's not like Dalvin Cook, who's 28. He's not like Leonard Fournette, who's 28. You got a back who's in his prime, in his absolute prime right now. Jonathan Taylor, where do we rank Jonathan Taylor as far as running backs in the NFL?
He's top. I know he was top 5 before the year he got hurt. He was definitely top 5.
And I don't think he was hurt. I don't really think he was hurt last year. I think with him, I think the thing was he pulled a Lamar Jackson. He goes, when you know that your team is going to go 3-14, 4-13. I'm not going out there and running the ball 25 times. You ain't about to use me up. He's 24 years old. He's 24 years old. He's not like Fournette. Him and Josh Jacobs are like in the same caliber. Josh Jacobs, what right now? If the Raiders rescinded the tag on Josh Jacobs, what would be the asking price for him? What could he get right now if Josh Jacobs was free? Because Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor, they're the same age.
They get the same thing because
Josh Jacobs just led the league in rushing last year,
and they still wouldn't offer him more.
You see what I'm saying? So to get him,
they still wouldn't.
So Josh Jacobs right now to get Josh Jacobs because he's tagged, you would have to give the Raiders 2 first-round picks to get him. That's what you would have to get for him. Now, if he won the free agent market, you just saw Zeke just get $3 million, and Zeke is washed. And I'm a Cowboys fan. Zeke is washed. Dude looked like he running in mud.
Oh my God, yo! Hold on.
He looked like he running. He looked like he running.
So before we come on, man, listen. So you said you're a Cowboy fan, so you don't realize that Zeke just played through a torn meniscus in 1 year, and then re-aggravated that same injury the next year, and still almost gave you 1,000 yards on less carries. Man, had 22 touchdowns.
Hey, look at
I know it's no. I don't know what it is.
He averaged 3 points.
It's the gray beard crew, man. My other man, he got a gray beard too, and y'all both think alike. I don't get this.
It's you. No, it's not that. It's you. You youngsters have recency bias. If I ask you young cats who's the best basketball player in the world, y'all say who's the best basketball player ever. Y'all will say Giannis. That's what y'all will say because y'all have recency bias. Because y'all, what I need you youngsters to do, I need y'all to go watch ESPN Classic. I need y'all to watch ESPN because y'all have recency bias. Y'all think because it just happened that's the best there. Floyd Mayweather, I'm TBE. Dude, TBE means the best ever. The ever lace up gloves. The best to ever lace up gloves. You got to go back history. Football didn't just start being played 5 years ago, youngsters. Okay, football's been played 103 years. There's a whole bunch of guys that have played. Oh, he's the best I ever. He's the best I ever seen. he's the best you ever seen because you're 23 years old. That's why he's the best you ever seen because you're 23. Go back to ESPN Classic and watch other games, and you'll see guys.
We got some age on us, Zach.
He has no idea.
We got some age on us, Zach.
And I'm a student of the game, like supremely. So all of the watch ESPN classics, I've watched the classics. I know you're being facetious, but I'm just letting you know. I'm almost touching 40.
I'm messing with you, fam. I'm messing with you, fam. But when I talk to these young cats, I got a 26-year-old son, and I ask him, who's the best quarterback in the NFL? Justin Fields. What? Like, come on, man. But some of it's just an age thing because that's what you see. That's what, and it's even with me. If you ask, if I ask my dad who's the best running back he ever seen, he gonna say Gale Sayers because that's what he sensationalizes that. But you gotta, when you really watch the game, you start seeing like certain stuff, you know. But you know, we'll Zeke. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Hold on.
You don't get better as you get older.
But did he play through injury?
Yes, but okay, but yes, he did. But he
toughed it out.
Okay, this is what I need you to do. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I need you to go back and watch the 2016 Ezekiel Elliott highlights, and then I need you to go back and watch last year's highlights.
No.
And tell me if he's anything like.
No. Listen, I'm on Ohio State.
Of course not. Of course.
It's not going to be the same
got you.
Because he was 6-7 years younger. So I get that part. But this notion that he's
the same age as Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same age as Dalvin Cook. Who would you rather have right now? Ezekiel Elliott or Dalvin Cook?
I still want Zeke.
They're the same age. They're both 28 years old. Who would you rather have?
I still want Zeke, man. I do.
Hey, let's hear what Nate had to say about Nate.
Then guess what? Then guess what? As a general manager, you would be fired. Okay, you would be fired, and then you would be laughed at. You would be because Ezekiel Elliott just signed for $3 million, and Dalvin Cook just signed for $8.
Why? He signed for $6.
No, he got.
Time out. They broke it down. He signed for $6 with a $4 million base, and Dalvin Cook signed for $8
so $4 million.
$6 million base. Right, for a $6 million base. So
it's
only a $2 million difference.
That's a big difference. You're the same age. $2 million. $2 million. Which is $2 million.
What Nate got to say? Nate, let's let Nate talk.
So if I said, hey.
No. But look, my thing is this though. Dalvin Cook got way more carries than Zeke last year. If you want to be technical, he got way more carries
last year.
$2 million more. That ain't nothing.
They're the same age. One's not 2 years. They're the same age. If I said I'll give you $4 million or I'll give you $6 million, come on, guys, we're going to go back to kindergarten now. If I said I'm going to give you $4 million or $6 million, who's making more money? And we're the same age. Me and you are both 28, and I say, and we do the same job.
Fine. All of that's fine because the league like yourself have been brainwashed to believe that this man is washed. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year and elevate that offense. And then we all gonna come back here and be like, damn, we were wrong about Zeke. As long as he's healthy.
Hang on. How is he going to elevate them? Tell me, how's he going to elevate them?
Yo, because you can't run 80 yards and hit your head on the goalpost no more, don't mean that you can't elevate an offense, man. Y'all got to get out of this theory that just because you're not a home run hit, that you can't elevate an offense. That's the furthest thing from the truth.
Okay.
He's great in pass
protection. You get all of these running backs.
Hold up. I got one for you. The same way you just said about Aaron Rodgers. The same way you just said about Aaron Rodgers. You just said Aaron Rodgers, he don't have to carry the team on his back. He got help. Zeke don't gotta do a lot. All he gotta do is get his little touches and do what he do. There's no pressure on him.
That's what he did last year. That's what he did last year. And he averaged 3.8 yards a carry.
Yeah, but also
that's what he did last year. And he got 3.8 yards a carry.
And how many times did he touch the ball?
What's 12 times 7? How many points is that? 12 times 6. How many points is that? What's 12 times 6?
That's 72.
It's what, 72? 72?
Right. That's 72.
And how many touchdowns Dalvin Cook had last year?
I don't know what, maybe 6 or 7.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't know exactly. But the team still says, hey,
touchdown, almost 1,000 yards, and he was the running back too. Come on, he can't be washed.
How do you get 230 carries and you can't get 1,000 yards with an extra game? There's 17 games now. You know how many yards you got to average to make 1,000 yards now?
Yo,
you know how many yards you got to average to make 1,000 yards? Guys,
8 touchdowns.
1,000. Okay, so he had 4 more touchdowns, and Dalvin Cook had like what, 1,100 yards to Zeke's 900 yards.
Yeah,
come
but
on
how many
now.
more touches Cook had? Dalvin Cook was the one. Zeke was
yards.
the 2.
Zeke should have been fresher. Zeke should have been fresher because he was sharing touches with Pollard, and you still can't get 1,000 yards.
Yo,
You still can't get
hold
1,000 yards.
He was sharing.
Like V say, coming off.
No. In the beginning of the year, Zeke was running fantastic. When he took that direct knee, when he took that direct helmet to the knee, that is when he slowed down for the rest of the year.
And Rocky fought really good until he ran into that straight right hand from Drago. Rockies were fighting very good. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. The wear and tear.
Let me ask you this: If Dalvin Cook takes that hit, does he play the rest of the year?
Dalvin Cook doesn't get hit because he doesn't run a 4.9 40 anymore. Okay.
Hey yo.
Does everybody remember? Hang on. So let me ask you this. Hang on. We were just talking about does everybody? Y'all remember the Vikings versus Bills game? Y'all remember that game, right?
Last year.
Yeah. You remember that game? Last year. What did Dalvin Cook do at the end of the game? What did he do at the end of the game?
Something Zeke always do.
70-yard touchdown. 70-yard touchdown. And Zeke was running in mud, and they beat the Vikings 43-3. And Zeke was averaging 2 yards a carry. Zeke is washed. Guys, I played running back. I'm telling you, Zeke is washed as a elite athlete. I'm not calling myself an elite athlete. As an explosive athlete, once you start having lower leg injuries, you're done. Lonzo Ball, done. Who's the basketball player from the Bulls? Not Derrick Rose. Once you lose your explosiveness, you're cooked. Ezekiel Elliott, you go from you're Ohio State fan, a guy who ran all up and down the field on Alabama, and the guy's averaging 3 yards a carry now. His yards per carry have gone down every year since 2016. That's what his yards per carry look like. Because he can't run anymore. He looks real good in them videos on Twitter running against trash cans, don't he? Looks real good, huh? When he's up there running against them.
Right.
Look.
B picked the Jets. B picked the Jets. Who you picking to win the AFC East? That's
me?
Yeah.
I'm picking the J. Look, I'm gonna put a caveat with this, okay? If Jonathan Taylor and my sources, like Stephen A. Smith sources, if Jonathan Taylor goes to the Dolphins, I'm taking the Dolphins. But right now, until I hear something else, I'm taking the Jets, Jets.
Nate, who you taking?
I'm going
Miami. Okay. Miami. We got Jets, bets. But if Jonathan Taylor get picked up by the Dolphins.
If Jonathan Taylor goes to if Jonathan Taylor and I look, I love Tua, I love his heart, but the man's got the bone density of a calcium deprived toddler. Okay, his brains are applesauce, man. His brains are applesauce. The man is one more shot away, and I'm not wishing this. I don't wish injury on anybody. I think we can all agree on that. But when you're a punch drunk fighter. Y'all remember how Rocky looked after Drago? Adrian, something's not right. That's Tua. Once you start having brain injuries and stuff, that dude is one more concussion. He had 2 concussions in 3 days last year. Remember, he got that concussion against the Bills. Then he came back on Thursday night and got body slammed and was doing the grip 3-finger death punch. That's what he was doing. It doesn't get better. You know what I'm saying? So I think a guy like Jonathan Taylor, you run the ball 18, 20 times a game. You don't put Tua in harm's way. It helps out. Jonathan Taylor has more room to run because you can't stop the box because you still got to worry about Waddle and Hill on the outside. And I think it's a perfect situation. If I'm them, I'm getting on the phone right now. I'm getting on the phone right now to go make that trade.
All right. So let's see in the next couple of days where JT ends up at. All right, we're gonna move on to the NFC
right by
East.
me. Not everything you touch gonna die.
Let's move on to the NFC East.
You ain't gonna color purple on it.
We're gonna start from the bottom to the top. How the standings went last year. We're gonna start with the Washington Commanders. Right here. All right, and shout out to the Bayou Bets.com for breaking down each team. So you got the Commanders who ended the season last year 8-8-1. Ron Rivera going in his 4th year coaching this team. I was when AB put the defense up there last week. I didn't know their defense didn't give up that much points last year, man. Their defense was definitely solid without Chase Young in the line most of the year.
They have a really good defense because it starts with the front four, and they got one of the best defensive lines across the board. Then they can go with anybody in the league. Last night I did see. I mean, it's preseason, so I can't put too much stock in it. But Sam Howell did look comfortable.
Yeah.
So shout out to Eric Bieniemy because he looks like even though he's coaching them too hard, quote unquote, he's doing a great job as far as how the offense actually look per se. But we'll see how it goes when the regular season starts and guys actually start game planning. But if they can get any type of competent quarterback play, this team will be dangerous and will be a tough out for whoever they play. Washington is one of the toughest places to go and win a game. So at least they'll have home field behind them.
Dallas.
And a lot of they're just one of those rejuvenated teams. They got new ownership. The Dan Snyder era is over, and I think a lot of people are rejoicing over that because it was really toxic. And the players are trying to play better and be more I don't know rejuvenated, I guess you could say. But of course right now I have them finishing last again in the division, but anything is possible. Giants better watch out for sure. But there'll be a tough out for anybody that, like I said, like that they play. I mean, shit. Last year they finished 500. This was the division that nobody had a losing record. They 8-1, and they definitely can win some more or steal some more games. But the schedule is tough for the entire division, so that will play a part.
Yeah.
Washington's still trash. I mean, I believe you, but I mean the game's got to be played on the field, and they have some talent. Like I said, they do have talent. If they get Sam Howell to play comfortable and not be rattled, because he hasn't seen a lot of defenses and stuff like that. Like I said, they will be a tough out.
Like you mentioned, Sam Howell did play well last night. The first round pick from Ole Miss, Emmanuel Forbes. Last night he stand out. Last night too. Made a couple of plays out there on the field while he was out there. So, it's definitely gonna be depends on the quarterback play, but picking up Eric Bieniemy, as the offensive coordinator will definitely help out with the offense. You seen last night how they was getting down the field, man, and that's what they're gonna do: push that ball down the field with the skilled receivers that they have. And Terry McLaurin, who we got good news that it was no real damage to his toe last night, so that's good. Jahad Dotson going into his second year should be a lot better than than last year. He had a great rookie year last year, and Curtis Samuel, you can't forget about him. So, and the two backs that they got in the backfield, Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. So he got the weapons around him, man. He just got to make the plays, this year. So, and the defense, that front four. Chase Young can stay healthy, definitely will be a dangerous team to deal with. You can't sleep on him. Definitely can't sleep on him. Definitely can't sleep on him. Any thoughts on the team on the Washington Commanders?
Nah, where you got him at? Where you got him at finishing in the division?
Fourth. Shit.
All right.
Bets.
Yeah,
I gotta say, fourth place with them. I think this is Ron Rivera's last season there. I wouldn't be surprised if Bieniemy is the head coach next year. Y'all know Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's he's one of the part owners, and generally when new owners come in, they want their own guy. They want their own GM. They want their own coach. You know what I'm saying? So I just think Rivera. I think Rivera's. I think they're going to give a valiant effort. They got what 3 or 4 first round picks on their defensive line. The 2 Alabama boys, Montez. Is it Montez Sweat or is Montez Sweat? I think it is. You know what I'm saying? They got a good. And then I think Chase Young gets moved. I've seen a lot of reports. I saw a report of him, maybe the Steelers picking him up. I think he gets traded by the trade deadline. He was in that same draft with I think Joe Burrow went number 1 and he went number 2. So I think you try to get something for him. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. You try to get something for him. Maybe he can revive his career somewhere. But I just don't. Sam Howell, he's the worst quarterback in the NFC East. I just don't see it. He shows little flashes or whatever, but I think, you need to go get you a franchise quarterback because what you're competing against in the NFC East, I just don't think he's that guy.
Mm-hmm. Nate, you had something else to say, Nate?
Yeah, I basically agree with what y'all saying too. I don't. Washington, they got a good 4, but if they give up Young, then they definitely gonna be in trouble. You know what I mean? They Sam Howell.
That says rebuild. If they trade him, that says that we trying to rebuild.
He ain't played. Like it ain't like they got missing him. The dude ain't played, but like 7 games his entire career. They drafted him in 2019, and I think the dude maybe has played 20 games, maybe. I mean, you try to get something for him while you can. You didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so he's already not in their plans.
It's the mass reporter. Magna Carta saying being in that NFC is good again. Finishing last in that division won't be as bad as it sounds. So
he got drafted in 2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, because it was Bosa then him. So. I mean, yeah, he had 7.5 sacks his rookie year. Then he went defensive.
But didn't Joe Burrow go first that year in 2020?
I want to say yes.
Joe Burrow went number 1 that year. He was number 2.
Yeah, he was the 2nd overall pick.
Yeah, that was Joe Burrow's year. Yeah.
All right, as we move along,
man, don't get fucking excited. As we move along and start rubbing hands.
Let Joe go first, Joe. Go ahead. Let Joe start that out. Go
ahead. Boys in blue. Yes. The Giants, man. Ended the season last year, 9-7-1 record. That tie was against the Commanders too. Yeah. And it's second year, Byron Dable, second year, leading the helm. And, they did the season did end bad last year to the Philadelphia Eagles and embarrassing loss. But, they made some key additions, adding Darren Waller, trading for Darren Waller, adding Bobby Oruke from the Colts, drafting. They did well in the draft. Picking up the center John Michael Smith, and stud receiver Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee. So definitely gonna help the wide receiving core. As you can see this past weekend, catching a touchdown pass this past weekend. So I expect them to stretch the field with him. This past off season, they did pay a lot of guys. Daniel Jones, getting a big contract for sure. I know a lot of y'all gonna say he didn't deserve it, but like I mentioned on all these shows, it's what the market asks for.
Oh my!
That's what the market say.
Why you keep saying that? That's not what the market says.
Okay, so listen.
Let him live. Let him be. Let him live.
Because he keep trying to use that bullshit. It's not.
Okay, it's the market.
That's not the market.
All right, so I'm not gonna go back and forth with you with this week. Again. All right, you get down this road.
It's not the market.
Times.
It's the market for top 10 guys. He's not a top 10 talent. That is not the market. He should have got with Ryan Tannehill.
I sat on these shows and say he's a top 10 quarterback.
But you're saying the market, and the market is the top $40 million is top 10 money. Period.
No, $40 million now is not about to be top 10.
Nah.
You're talking about
about to be, but currently it is.
Yeah, right now it is.
Yeah.
He's the 9th highest paid quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, you still got Burrow about to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Once Burrow gonna get about 50, 55.
I get all of that, but we talking about today.
Yeah.
I get it. I know what's coming, but we talking about today.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, he got paid, all right. They gave Saquon that 1-year contract. They worked that deal out. Thank God, because I don't know how he's gonna make it through this season.
Why? You got a $40 million. You got a $40 million guy.
Hey, I don't know how he's gonna make it, but thank God they paid him. So they paid also Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence. So Giants is opening the bank up for a lot of these guys. So hopefully they deliver this year. They come through and make some plays, man. As you can see, Vegas have us over under 7.5. We're gonna pass that for sure. I know I think they have a schedule as the 3rd toughest schedule in football this year. But it's nothing. It's nothing. I mean,
$40 million and the pass yards per game is 26.
Yeah, I know. I just talked about that, Magna. I'm looking at the Giants schedule. It looks like they might go 1-5. No, we're gonna go 3-0. Starting with Dallas, week 1. We'll see you week 3. Don't you come up here projecting our schedule and our record. I did the same shit last year.
Magna, they definitely could do that. It definitely could be a 1-5, 2-4.
We said we was gonna lose to Tennessee last year.
I didn't know Tennessee was going to drop the ball, but either way, we not Tennessee, so I don't know what you're talking about.
We swept the Giants last year, by the way. Hell, even the Commanders and the Eagle, we split with them. We swept y'all. Just saying.
Yeah, the Giants ain't beat us in 2,400 and I think 40.
Hey, the same way I invited y'all on this show, I can. All right, Nets and Nate. All right, but we coming up here taking shots at my boy.
I'm just looking at these numbers, man. 26th in passing offense, 18th in total yards per game. That's going to definitely have to improve.
It's going to improve.
I always talk about the Giants defense, and I didn't know that they were actually – I mean, they don't look this bad, but damn. I mean, 25th in yards per game allowed. They were terrible against the rush. They were okay against the pass. We'll see what happens. All right, y'all still don't. If you think Okiri is the cure, then okay, cool.
Corey, second place.
The Giants' issue is all of y'all's good players are injury prone. That's y'all's main problem. Going back to Evan Ingram, always hurt. Sterling Shepard, always hurt. Saquon Barkley, always hurt. They're always hurt. I mean, Evan Ingram leaves. Evan Ingram leaves the Giants, goes to the Jags, and he has his best season ever. Like, it's just y'all. Why did y'all bring back Sterling Shepard? Sterling Shepard is always hurt, dude.
We want to retire as a Giant, man.
So what do you do? So what do you do? Hey, you get rid of one injury-prone tight end, and you go get Darren Waller, and y'all are selling. Darren Waller's always hurt. That's what the reason.
But it hurts when he's healthy.
Yes. You know who else used to say that? Arian Foster, Percy Harvin. Well, when he's healthy, he ain't ever healthy though. That's the problem. He ain't ever healthy.
And Waller almost got hurt y'all first preseason game. He got smacked.
He looked good. He gonna look good again this week.
And just for the record, I don't like number 12 on the tight end. Just saying, I don't really like that. That ain't a good.
I'm not a fan of it either, Max.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not. I think an 84 Shannon Sharp, something like that. I hate these numbers thing, but you know, Daniel Jones. He should have went and he should have sent like a one of them Christmas gift boxes like Ramona sends me on Christmas, one of them Hickory Hillsbury Farms sausage and cheese boxes. He should have sent that to Brian Daboll because Brian Daboll saved his career. Daniel Jones was he was an inch short of being called a bust and getting shipped out of town. Yeah. Brian Daboll saved his career.
Listen, I know he throw another year with 15 touchdown passes.
Nah, that's not what I'm gonna allow. This better double up this year. With all that damn money, that shit better double up this year. It better not be no 15 touchdowns this year.
But you know,
I don't see him being a 30 touchdown pass guy. But go ahead.
Hell no, he ain't gonna be no damn 30 touchdown. He run. He's a running quarterback.
And here's the thing about it with that,
he's gonna throw the ball.
With that Saquon Barkley thing, when he went back and he he redid his contract or whatever. I think they gave him like a $1 million raise instead of $10 million. He makes $11 million. They can't tag him next year. That's bad because he's your best player, hands down. I mean, he's like 90% of your offense, and you can't tag him next year. So next year you're gonna have to like either decide. And there's a lot of
It's got a lot of money next year. That's Leonard Williams' contract is off the table. Dory Jackson big contract. These are big contracts that Gettleman gave these guys before. You know, you got some backs next year that are gonna. Tony Pollard's a free agent. Josh Jacobs is a free agent. Jonathan Taylor's probably a free agent. And you're in that market there. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man,
we don't know what's going to happen as far as Tony Pollard. I think that they tagged him this year, but they might give him a long-term deal towards the end of the year.
We'll see what he does. I think
they're buying time.
I think they want to see it again because he's never really had to carry the load. Even when he was in college, a lot of people don't remember that when he was in college at Memphis, he played wide receiver. The starting running back for Memphis then was Darrell Henderson. Used to play for the Rams. So he's never really had, then he was backing up Zeke. He's never really been the guy to carry that load. So we'll see. I think they want to kind of see him do it for another year.
All right, man. As we move along, we them boys. All right, guys. Got the three guys. B, I'm gonna start off with you. You can lead this segment. I don't care about this one at all.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you
can lead it, and the other guys can follow up after.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I don't care about it.
Yeah, I know. You're okay week one. But yeah, I mean, shit. It's Dallas coming into a year where the two things that they needed to improve was the receiving core and the defensive line. All right. People making jokes, accident waiting to happen, all this goofy Stephen A shit. But at the end of the day, the addition of Brandon Cooks will open up this offense, man. The way that the wide receiver core currently looks as it's stacked right now, much improved from the year before, man. So, Dallas went and drafted Mozzie Smith to help with the run, run stopping that they had a problem with defensively. As you can see, they were 22nd against the rush last year. That's something that they definitely have to improve on if they want to, be one of the top defenses. I mean, they were the top defense, but if you want to really be one of those defenses that are feared, you gotta start with stopping the run. They were awesome against the pass. I think that stats 8th against the pass. So, and they had they were ranked 12th overall. I just see that those numbers are going to have to improve this year if they, want to dominate that side of the ball. But as far as the other moves that were made, they did draft tight end Schoonmaker, which I don't even know what that particular pick was about.
It was a dumbass move.
I don't really feel like they needed a tight end. But if they're gonna use if they use him, that's fine. If he works out in the long run or whatever, I don't know.
Big. They say he was supposed to be like he's supposed to be the new age Travis Kelce. That's what they're saying. That's why they.
That's what they said about Kincaid.
Yeah, so if they use him, you know what I mean. We'll see. A lot of teams have them, competing with Philly for this division. So, I see Magna Carta, you making predictions again, but fuck your 10-7. 11-6, I might accept, but I think this is a team that can win another maybe 11 to 12 games for sure, especially if the defense comes out and plays the way the defense wants to play. And you'll learn a lot about them this year because they do have a really tough schedule between the AFC East and the NFC West. So they'll definitely have their challenges ahead of them this year.
Oh man, Luke Schoonmaker in the second round. That's just mind-numbing to me. I disagree. I disagree with my man here. You said that they addressed that their two biggest weaknesses. What did you say their two biggest weaknesses were? I forget what you said.
No, I said the receiving core and beefing up the defensive line to be able to stop the run.
Okay, I thought that they did that last year when they picked up Jonathan Hankins. And I love the Mozzie Smith pick. Once they picked up Jonathan Hankins, it kind of slowed that down. I think the two things that they addressed was I agree with you with the number 2 wide receiver. You had Noah Brown as your number 2 last year. He's not a number 2. He's more like a 4.
5.
I think they overlooked. Okay, I'll take that too.
He's a wide receiver 5.
Yeah. And you had Michael Gallup, who they thought would come back. I don't think he was. He tore his ACL. Generally, ACL, that's a 1.5 year injury. He didn't look like himself. Mm-hmm. Now you go out and you go get a legit number 2. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about Brandon Cooks. I think he's a perfect number 2.
Perfect.
He's perfect number 2 because this is a guy who was a former, this guy's a Super Bowl champion. He's also I think he's got 6,000 or 7,000 yard seasons. So you move him to 2, you can move Gallup to 3. They just announced today Jalen Tolbert, one of their high draft picks this year. He won the 4 job today. Mike McCarthy announced that. So you address that, your number 2 wide receiver. And I thought that the second most pressing issue after that was the number 2 corner.
I forgot about that. Yes,
Kelvin Joseph, boss man fat, or whatever the hell you want to call yourself. That dude makes Eli Apple look like Deion Sanders. He's terrible. He's terrible. I don't think he's going to make the team.
But it was really Anthony Brown. Remember,
it was
Anthony Brown didn't play last year.
He did, but he got hurt.
He got hurt. And I'm saying you lost Jordan Lewis, you lost Anthony Brown, and Kelvin Joseph had to start. And Kelvin Joseph made Zay Jones look like Randy Moss in that Jacksonville game. Teams wouldn't even throw it. They wouldn't even throw it at Diggs because they're just like, we're just going to pick on this guy all day. You go out, you go get a former defensive player of the year in Gilmore. Is he the same Gilmore that he was defensive player of the year with the Patriots? No, he's not. He's a good number 2. He's a good number 2 corner where the other team can't just pick on your number 2 guy. So I thought that was a great move. Outstanding move. I like Deron Bland in the slot.
I do.
I think they're looking good right there. But there's a lot of things that are up. If the Cowboys do not make the NFC Championship, Mike McCarthy's gone. He's gone.
Yeah.
I think you got your head coach. You keep seeing Dan Quinn passing up jobs, passing up head coaching jobs. I think he's got a backdoor deal with Jerry where he just stick around, man. Stick around. You can be our head coach. I think he's got a backdoor deal with Dan Quinn. if they don't make the NFC Championship game, Jerry's gone out and done a lot of stuff. You know, you just re-signed, you just gave Zach Martin some money. And Dak Prescott, you know, I don't like making excuses. I don't play favorites. I think that the thumb injury really bothered him. Dak Prescott has never been a high interception guy. I think he rushed back a broken thumb on your throwing hand. I think he lost a lot of control. And, you know, I think that bothered him. We're going to find out about Tony Pollard. I love the Mozzie Smith pick. I did not like the Luke Schoonmaker pick. I was literally yelling at the TV, throwing my remote at it. I thought they should have drafted Osiris Torrance in the second round. I thought that's what they should have did. Arvion Overshown, unfortunately, tore his ACL. I hate that. I thought he was going to really be able to do something. I liked him, watched him play University of Texas. But they got a really good team. They got to put it all together. And you got to deal with to get to where they want to go. They're going to have to deal with the Eagles, and they're going to have to deal with the 49ers. The 49ers have put them out of the playoffs the past 2 years. They've got to get over that hump with the 49ers. Just seem to have their number, kind of push them around, and you gotta deal with the 49ers. That's a big game in those Eagles games. So we'll see. And if they don't do it, Jerry Jones, 80 years old, man. He ain't got too many more years. It's like you got to do it now. So we'll see. Dak Prescott, he's due $59.5 million next year. He's a $59.5 million salary cap hit.
Yeah, that's a cap hit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you gotta.
They'll do that. They'll do that deal again. They'll do that deal over.
Yeah, they're going.
What I mean by that cap number. Magna Carta, when I say got to deal with the 49ers, I mean
he's a 49er fan. He's been
look. Sometimes a team just has your number. A team just has your number.
I don't believe that.
You know, we beat the Eagles. We beat the Eagles, but the Eagles smashed y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes styles make fights. I
think.
But wait, hold on.
Go ahead, Nate.
Let me go. Let me say my spill on that. First off, the 49ers got lucky 2 years in a row. Like, let's
go with this shit. Let's be analytical. We're not about to make excuses about luck.
No, it's not. It's no excuse. Yo, look. I'm about to break it down to you. It's no excuse. Our defense held them to what? 17 points in the first half. They didn't score. Know what I mean? The first year they beat us, it was because Dak dumbass ain't get up to the line. Know what I mean? Dak get up to that line, we win that game easy. We beat the 49ers. Both of the times we lost to the 49ers, that's all Dallas mistakes. The 49ers didn't beat us. Dallas beat themselves. We didn't lose to the 49ers. Dallas beat they fucking selves. We lost that game ourselves. No, I mean,
they beat us, man. Fuck it. Listen, they beat us, man. Listen, at the end of the day, what I feel like,
brother, I'm a Cowboys fan, brother. But right now, you sounding very Adrian Broner like. I beat him. I beat him. Man, you didn't win around, man. Bro.
What? Go ahead, Nate.
The football gods give. The football gods giveth, and the football gods taketh away. That's the way it works. The football gods giveth, and the football gods take away. We lost in the win and loss column. We lost, and it all works. Football is about the law of averages. You could say the Houston Texans could say to us, they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves because we nearly lost to the Houston Texans. Don't forget that. So sometimes football is about the law of averages. You can't celebrate when you get a close when you get a close win, and then when you get a close loss, be like, "Oh, we beat ourselves." No, because if that's the case, then hell, you win all your games. You got to play. You got to play all four quarters.
Listen, I understand that, but
go ahead.
I feel like I mean, we'll see week 5. That's all I got to say. 49ers, we'll see them week 5. But like y'all was saying, I feel like us getting Stephon Gilmore made our defense even better. That Gilmore, even though Gilmore is not in his prime, that he still helps Diggs. Now we like we said, we got Anthony Brown ass up out of there. I was tired of him. Tired of Anthony Brown. I'm sorry. We got Anthony Brown up out of there. So now we got somebody to put on day 1, day 2, and then we got Bland. Like we got the corners, we got the depth.
Some people say they don't have
then
one or two.
Yeah, but I'm mad Overshawn got hurt because they were saying he was really producing. Everybody said he was producing, he was doing real good. Know what I mean?
Next
And
man
like
up.
you said, we got Mozzie Smith. Our biggest thing to me was another corner, and we need to stop the run. You know what I mean? That's on the defense. But as far as the offense, I feel like we only gonna go as far as Dak gonna take us. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? If
Listen,
I think we're now transitioning to a defensive team. I disagree with you. I think now the guy on the team now, the leader of the Dallas Cowboys now is Micah Parsons. It ain't that what they need Dak Prescott to be. They need Dak Prescott to be Brock Purdy. They need Dak Prescott to be Dak Prescott his rookie year. Rookie year, run the ball, don't turn over the ball, play good defense. And now they got a top 3 don't put the defense in bad situations because you got guys that can get after the ball. The Cowboys have led the league in takeaways for the past 2 years. First time in 50 years that's ever happened. So I think the Cowboys are now transitioning more into a defensive-minded team. And Dak Prescott now is just, bro, don't pee down your leg in a big moment, bro. Don't pee down your bit. I want to see Dak Prescott throwing the ball 22, 23 times a game, running Pollard, getting him out in space, getting Deuce Vaughn. I want to see him make the team. I'd like to see him get about 10 touches. Yeah. If y'all want to go get Jonathan Taylor, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But yeah.
I will say,
hold on.
I'm gonna say this before we move.
But wait, hold on. I do agree with you real quick though on that Dan Quinn situation. I feel like if Mike McCarthy don't show and prove this year, Dan Quinn gonna be the next head coach of the Cowboys.
Bye.
That's just me. I feel the same way. I feel like, I don't know, Jerry made some little underlining deal with Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I think this guy turned down the Bears job. He turned down the Broncos job. This dude then turned down a bunch of jobs, man. That you don't do that unless there's something. There's something because every coach, every coordinator, their dream is to be a head coach. You don't want to be a defensive coordinator your whole life.
That already though.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have to also understand Dan Quinn took the Falcons to the Super Bowl. I'm sure he's sitting over there sometime when Mike McCarthy is doing something dumb as hell. And he's like, look, man, come on, man. I was a head coach. I took the Falcons to the Super Bowl, man. So I think that there's a backdoor deal somewhere like that. That there's been some discussions that was like, hey, man, if you stick around and Mike McCarthy, if they suffer an embarrassing like wild card round loss, or you don't make it to the NFC Championship, Mike McCarthy's ass is fired. I'm telling y'all that like as clear as day.
No, I agree with you. Me personally, my expectations for us is nothing less than the NFC chip. That's if we don't get there, I feel like, to me personally, if we don't get to the NFC chip, we had an ass season. I don't care if we go 16-1. If we don't do nothing in the playoffs when that shit count, then it's like we the same Dallas Cowboys. We gotta get better, man.
You got the last word, B. Before we move on, we got like a couple more minutes left. And
all right, go ahead.
Nah, but I mean, listen, before we can move on after this. I just wanted to say, I think a lot of the reason to answer Nate, the reason why we lost to the Niners, I think we were out coached, out schemed. Kellen Moore, people could say what they want. They could get fabricated with the numbers and all of that, but he wasn't a good OC in situational football and putting together game plans to make the team or to put players in a position to, to win or, outplay the opposition. That's what I believe. I think now that he's gone and now that you have a veteran in Mike McCarthy, everybody's making this big deal. I'm different on your as it pertains to Mike McCarthy than you guys are. I actually think that I think that this whole stigma of him not being that good of a coach came when he got the star on his helmet, because everybody gave him high praise when he was in Green Bay up until that last year when him and Aaron Rodgers had that fallout or whatever. But, I've seen Mike McCarthy through the years when he was in Green Bay call smart games and smart game planning. It's just that the only thing that was a gripe was the clock management, which he kind of seemed to have gotten together too. We just needed to get that Garrett shit out of the locker room, man. And Kellen Moore was the last piece of that Garrett shit. So now he could take that to Chargers. I just seen something on Twitter where everybody was running curl routes again, and I just laughed my ass off. But at the end of the day, going forward, I just think that veteran, and I'm already starting to see it, the veteran leadership as far as play calling and putting together a game plan with McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer, I think that will do wonders for this team. Remember, Russell Wilson, the reason why he fell out with Seattle, he didn't want them to fire Brian Schottenheimer. He wanted them to keep him because that's when Russ was really cooking, if you think about it. So, I'm just, excited to see what's going to happen from that standpoint this upcoming season. I have all the faith in the world in the defense.
Junior, mic is off, baby.
All right. My bad. We got a couple more minutes left. We got to save a couple more minutes for the Phillies. So the last team we're going to talk about, Philadelphia Eagles. That's the division winners from last year. Went 14-3. Made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and they had a shot to win the Super Bowl, but Mahomes and Kansas City had a lot to say about that. Returning is the runner-up MVP Jalen Hurts. Let's see how he could do this year. From this great season he had last year, they did a lot during free agency by picking up. I'm trading for DeAndre Swift, picking up Rashad Penny to help the backfield. All right, and they did good, also good in the draft, picking up all these Georgia Bulldogs again. Starting with Jalen, who they are big on. Yeah, man. What's y'all thoughts, man, about Philly, man? Do y'all feel like they can win the division?
Just put them already in the NFC Championship according to their fans. I mean, why the fuck do we even need to play the season? You know what I mean? Why do we even need to discuss them? They're automatically going. They got better according to them at the running back position, which DeAndre Swift wasn't even used in Detroit, but we'll see how he's used here. And Rashad Penny is another injury-prone back that they picked up. When he's healthy, he's good, but I don't know if he could play a whole season because I've had him a couple times in fantasy and he's fucked up my whole season twice. Yeah, so the whole Jalen Carter thing. I mean, they looking at they saying he the best already. He's Reggie White, so I don't even know. We don't have to talk about him. But nah, I mean, in all jokes aside, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a good team. You expect him to be able to build off of what they did last year, but we've seen teams that represented, 1 year and then the next year, they don't represent. Now, I'm not saying that they can't, because they are talented enough to do it, but, there will be a lot of variables that have to go into that. It's a tough division, and it's a tough schedule, like I said, with the AFC East and the NFC West. So, and they have a first place schedule. I think they have the toughest schedule in the league.
They got the toughest schedule. Yeah, they got the toughest schedule this year.
Yeah, so the game's got to be played on the field. And a lot of teams have been chomping at the bit to try to get at Philly because they just been pretty much acting like they're the big dogs of the entire league. So we'll see. They're going to be a good team though. For certain, I look forward to our matchups for sure. So
hold on. I got a quick question for you, B. With them taking out the RPO, do you think Philly's still gonna be as effective?
Well, I saw them using some of it in the preseason, so I don't know to what extent they took it out. I think it's a certain way that it has to be done, But they're not going to take away one of Jalen's best assets, which is his legs. So I can't see that because that's a big part of their offense. And it makes the rest, it opens up everything else for everybody else. So
I respect the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan, but yeah, I respect the Eagles. But here's the thing that we have to understand: we have not had a repeat winner in the NFC East since 2004. We just saw last year. How'd the Rams look last year? Usually the Super Bowl loser, or just being in the Super Bowl, you have that Super Bowl hangover. I'm not saying that they're going to do that, but I'm just saying I know in the NFC East, being an NFC East fan, it's very hard to repeat in there. They're going to get everybody's best shot. They lost their offensive coordinator, their defensive coordinator. There's a lot of pressure. I mean, Jalen Hurts was for a couple of weeks the highest paid quarterback in the league. You know, there's a lot of pressure. It's hard when you go from hunter to hunted, and everybody that you're playing against is playing you, whether you're playing the Chiefs or whether you're playing the Washington Commanders. Everybody's going to give you their best shot. So we'll see if they can. We'll see if they can do that. They won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and they didn't make it back after that. So usually the Super Bowl loser usually kind of has falling off. Like I said, losing both of your coordinators, it's the truth. You saying Dallas, you haven't had a repeat winner in the NFC East since Donovan McNabb was playing with the Eagles. So there's a lot of pressure that goes with that. I think they'll be good. I respect them, but I think we match up good against them. We know it's going to be. We split last year. We went, 2 years ago.
Then we sweep them a couple years ago.
We did. 2 years ago, we swept them. Dak Prescott's record against the NFC East, I think he's like 27-8 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, like you said, they look good on paper, but we don't play football on paper. You gotta play in the words of Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. You gotta go out there, you gotta play the game, man. So I look forward to the challenge. I'm sure they look forward to it. I got a lot of respect for Jalen Hurts. I think he's the new Jordan representative.
Hey, we have respect for Jalen Hurts on here. I see Jeff made a comment the other day. He's saying we always getting on Jalen Hurts on Off the Top Sports, and I'm like, nah. I had him as number 3 on my quarterback list a couple of weeks ago. Give
me your top 3. So who's your top 3
for 2023 season? Coming into this season, my top 3, I had Mahomes, Burrow, and I had Hurts at 3.
You rather have Hurts over Josh Allen? Because that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You have the top 3
off from the past couple of years. Past couple of years, I'll take Hurts for right now.
Okay, all right.
Because Allen hasn't shown up in the big. What's the name?
Hurts in a big game. Hurts played an incredible game in the Super Bowl. I mean, he played
touchdowns. Then he had 300 yards.
He played an incredible game.
He made one mistake.
Yeah, that fumble cost him the Super Bowl.
So we'll see what happens. I have no faith in DeAndre Swift, and here's my fear before we get ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
Them getting Jonathan Taylor. Now that would change everything. And that's an ego. I'm just saying though.
Don't even put that out.
A couple of years ago, when they got AJ Brown out of the blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not expecting that's one of them Howie Roseman type moves. And he nearly traded for Russell Wilson too, but that's neither here nor there. But that scares me, man. That scares me because that's the kind of move. If they got Jonathan Taylor, I mean, if Jonathan Taylor goes nearly anywhere, he's going to make a difference. But with the Eagles, with their RPOs, with Jonathan Taylor, with Devonta Smith and AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert, man. Don't do that. I don't need them kind. I don't need to be taking no high blood pressure medicine.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bump that, please. Don't even put that in the air. Don't get them no ideas. Don't get them no ideas.
Hey, listen, man. we gotta head out, man. I want to thank y'all brothers for coming on, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank
Nate,
you for having us, man.
you're always welcome. Once we, the studio get back up, you're always welcome to come up to the show. Nate, the Mass Reporter. Tell them where they can follow you at.
Yeah, right now you can follow me on Instagram, man_of_respect. I mean, the Mass Reporter. I'm about to create my own separate page though, but as of right now, that's where you can find me at. I mean, I do recap of all Dallas videos, win or loss. I mean,
on YouTube, right?
I'll run from the smoke. I mean, win or loss. Oh yeah, and I take all bets too. So Dallas versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all can DM me. Let me know what y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Bets, man. What up, man?
Hey, check me out. Alphabet's football show, Friday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with my lovely co-host Ramona Diehard. We talk football. June will be there probably not this week, next Friday. We're gonna break down the NFC kind of like y'all did here. This Friday, we're breaking down AFC, off north, south, east, west. We're doing that this weekend. So check us out. Hit me up, Alphabet's football show, BETTS. And we're gonna chop it up, man. I appreciate the invite, June, coming in here and kicking it with you guys.
Pleasure, man. B, what's good?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, we'll be back, man. Probably we'll be back on here next week. I don't know yet for sure. On Sans Sports Multimedia Network. Shout out to Sans for letting us use the network to do our show today.
Man, he better let us.
What I gotta do to get June? What I gotta do to get one of them off the top hoodies or t-shirts? Can I?
B, watch him out. B, watch him out.
Hey, send me your address, man. I'll definitely ship one out to you, brother.
I'll get your alphabet. I'll get your alphabet show in the mail.
Yeah, man. Yeah, our Ego TV merch coming soon, man. We be coming soon. It's in the news, man.
All right, and shout out to James too. He was having technical difficulties. On here, but I'll definitely get him back on the show for sure, man. That's pretty much it for this week. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. Talk to Top Sports Radio. We out. Deuces.